So I found the perfect yard here for some weed identification. So I want to go over some weeds that I'm seeing this month. It's the end of February. So we'll start out with, here's a good clump right here. This weed right here is called Star of Bethlehem. It's usually grouped into the same category as your wild garlic, wild onion, but it produces that white flower that you see right there. It always grows in clumps. You'll never see it in single strands like that. So this yard has a good bit of that. A lot of people, when they drive up, they would say that's wild onion or wild garlic, but that's actually Star of Bethlehem. You can tell by that white flower that's produced. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but if you were just walking through this yard, just the normal person who doesn't work in lawn care may think, wow, my grass is already greening up. You know, look at all this green I've got showing through here. But the soil temperatures have not reached the point where your grass is ready to green up yet. So this is not your grass. These immature plants right here, it is actually POA. This is Poana. So the very immature POA looks like your grass is greening up. It really does. But as you get into the more mature POA plants, they start producing a seed head, and then that's really when you can tell that that's a weed and that's not your grass. So you can easily prevent POA just by putting out a good fall pre-emergent, and you shouldn't be seeing too much POA. Here's some really green POA right here, and this is the seed head. This is the seed head that Poana produces right here. So that's a mature POA plant. So let's walk around to the backyard and see what else we can find. Again, this is the end of February right here, so we're still in winter time. But we're starting to see a lot of springtime weeds starting to pop out. So what we have here is hairy bittercress. This is hairy bittercress. It's a broadleaf weed. It also produces a seed head. Comes to a flower seed head here. As it starts warming up, you'll start seeing more of this hairy bittercress, and the mature plants will, even the wind will blow the seed head out, and that weed will spread very easily. So as spring comes, if you don't have any pre-emergent in the ground, you'll see more of that hairy bittercress. But it's easy to kill. Any broadleaf weed herbicide will kill that, no problem at all. That's more of it right there. More hairy bittercress. This is more Star of Bethlehem right here. Now this is not Star of Bethlehem. This is wild onion or wild garlic. Honestly, I get them confused. One has a hollow insides, but you can also just smell it. So that's wild onion. It smells like wild onion to me. But like I said, honestly, I get them confused. Wild garlic, wild onion. I saw a patch over here that I wanted to talk about. It's a pretty large patch. Not large patch the fungus, but a large patch of the weeds. Here it is. This is wild violet. This is wild violet. It produces that purple flower right there. So this weed is actually pretty hard to kill here. It has this waxy coating. So any broadleaf weed herbicide you would think would easily kill this, but it doesn't. That waxy coating there prevents that herbicide from going in there. But one product that I found that works really well is called MSM, not MSMA, but MSM. There's another product called Canoe that works very well on that. It takes 2 treatments. So 2 treatments will kill that. One will turn it colors, will weaken it up a little bit, but 1 treatment will not do. That's Wild Violet. And that's more of the hairy Bittercress right there. So that's just a few weeds that we're seeing this time of year. The end of February, these weeds will stick around throughout the spring. You'll see these same weeds all throughout the spring here. And the last weed I want to talk about is Henbit. This is Henbit right here. It also produces a little purple flower, but it's a broadleaf weed. It's very easy to kill. Any broadleaf weed herbicide will knock this weed out. Just a very common broadleaf weed that grows here in the wintertime on into spring. So you'll start to see more of that, especially if you don't have any pre-emergent in the ground. You'll see a lot of henbit.